So I have it streaming now. Unfortunately, we do not have a quorum because our quorum person just emailed us at 9:49 saying she wasn't going to be here. So we did have a quorum, I promise, but yeah, we just got the email saying she's not able to come now. So we'll just go through the meeting agenda and not have any motions, but I would love some input on some things. So we won't be able to do call to order or approval of the agenda or approval of the minutes from the last meeting, but I would like to go around, or election of officers. But I would like to go around and do an introduction because we have some new people. I'm Jessica Pickett, the Community Services Director.
I'm Amy Hurt, the Community Services Coordinator.
I'm Sarah Beckstrom, I'm the business manager at LifeQuest.
So Sarah's the one that replaced Jordan Underbutter.
And I'm Jay Larson, I'm retired.
Cole Morgan, I'm an attorney at Daily Law.
I'm Jan Quenzer, and I'm just off the LifeQuest Foundation board.
Yes, your name sounds familiar, yep.
I retired also from Mitchell Tech and city, well, chamber actually, with the Court Hills gift shop.
I used to, a long time ago, work for her husband too, so I've done a number of things over the years.
Jay's been around the block.
Well, you used to work for, I know that's why Harlan hired, because you could write stuff up.
I worked for District 3 Planning
Yes.
and was a project coordinator for them for a number of years.
Yeah, and I'm glad that Jay.
And then when I left you guys, I went to work for a federal government contractor and did the same kind of work. I worked for them for 10 years before I retired.
My husband had SPN and Associates. It's on, this is the bypass. Jeff McCormick is now their head guy.
Well, we appreciate you guys all coming. So we had the quorum all lined up, but last minute.
I had two that canceled this morning.
Actually, yeah, we did have two. The other one canceled at 8
Yep.
this morning, and then this last one at 9:47. So we did have two more that were coming. So we'll just skip on to summer bus pass. This is just information for you because we did the summer bus pass again this year. Not as many as we've had in previous years, but I still think it's a great service for the community and especially for those that utilize that summer bus pass for Palace Transit. As we sold more family passes than we did individual passes. And they utilize them for all kinds of things, for activities to going to the library. And it's nice to see that happen. And those that utilize it are very appreciative, especially me as a parent. It's handy. Next on the agenda is Palace Transit 5339 funding. This was approved by City Council at the October 2nd meeting, but I just wanted to let you know what's going on. What this one is, the 5339, is a reissue of two of our previous grants that we had. Because the letter in front says due to increased raw materials and chassis shortages, we weren't able to get to the buses that we previously ordered within that time frame that the previous grants were listed from 2021 to 2023. So they put those two grants together and combined them to one grant now with an extension till September 30th of 2024. It is budgeted in the city, and unfortunately, we are only able to we have 4 buses on order. We received 2, but because of the increased prices, we're only able to get one more, a third bus instead of all 4. So it's unfortunate, but it's all we can get at this point. But this was approved by council. Any questions? That's what that packet's so full. These are very long agreements, but I wanted you to have all the information. sorry, long.
Is it the one that's 108 pages?
No. The whole packet's 108, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because of these, these are so long, so that's the end, showing that, back up a little. The vehicles, our federal share is 167,000, our local share is 41,898. And then an email about the chassis, because we wanted longer buses. There, this is information about stretching it out. Okay. The next one is Palace Transit 5310 funding. Again, that was also approved by City Council at the October 7th meeting. And 5310 funding is for 2 more additional buses that hopefully we can get this time. And these will be 24 and 2 buses. And 24 and 2 means, I'm just going to skip through all these pages. 24 and 2 means it will be 2 wheelchairs and 24 regular bus seats. So that's where the 24 and 2 comes from. Any questions on that?
How many miles do you put on a bus a year generally?
I want to say about 20,000. Sounds close. They're all in-town miles. And the buses we have, when we get rid of them, have about 150 when we get rid of them, and we have them for about
7 years?
10-ish, 7 to 10 years. And there's the breakdown of that, the 85 and 15 for that. And we do have that in the budget as well. So it was approved by council. Okay, the next one is 53, Palace Transit 5311 funding. That also was approved by council on the October 2nd meeting. Good news, we always apply for not extra funds. We apply for the funds that are needed, but we never receive the funds that we need. But this year, we got more than we expected to get from the state, so we were very excited about that. And we won't be using as much general funds from the city. So this is the budget that was approved by the South Dakota DOT for all of our items, which is the 5311 funding. The Title 3B funding is our older Americans funds, that's the same, but our state funds increased. So it's nice seeing that increase. And that's for our administrative and operating.
What's your indirect cost benefit run approximately, percentage?
Say that again?
Your indirect costs, what percentage are you allowed?
So they give us the administrative and operating at it 80-20 or 50-50, depends on if it's administrative or operating. And then our Title 3B and our state funds, there's no required match. So anything above and beyond that 50% and 20%, that's what the city general funds pays for.
Okay. But your employee benefits, are they considered in those funds, or do you have a
Yes.
percentage that you got to match?
Nope, it's all in that. That page right in front shows that we have the fringe benefits. That shows everything that we have in the grant.
Okay.
And then, so the first set here is our administrative, and that's the 80-20. And the second set over, next set of blues, that is our operating, and that's 50-50. And then capital is our vehicle preventative maintenance and our facility preventative maintenance. And it shows below what our revenue is, what we receive for revenue. We get the fares that people pay to ride the bus. Advertising has been very beneficial for us, people that advertise on the inside and outside of the buses. Medicaid, we get good funds from Medicaid, providing that transportation. We do contracts with entities and they did a budget line adjustment at the bottom, so that shows where the funds are coming from. Any other questions? Okay, next is the nutrition cost report. This is due annually, and it just is a breakdown of all of our costs for the nutrition program, how many meals that we're serving, what it's costing us, and then the state utilizes this information, they put it in their database to figure out how much they should give us per meal every year, and this is required annually. It's supposed to be signed by our board chairperson. However, we do not have a board chairperson because we haven't had a quorum to elect officers in quite a while. So we had Jacqueline come and sign, and we sent that off because it was due, and he just signed it as a board representative. And I contacted the state, and they said they were okay with that. Any questions? Okay, the next part is what I really wanted your input on. We do a fees, the city council does a fees resolution annually. We haven't updated our fees since 2019 and would like to make some changes. So I would prefer your input as what we suggest and make as recommendations to the city council this year. The first one is for our adult nutrition program. We don't feel at this time we want to change anything regarding this because our seniors in the community it's a tough time financially for everyone, and we didn't want to increase this for our seniors or those that receive these meals. So if you're okay, we'll just leave this and not make any changes.
Is this the meals at E10?
Yes,
Okay.
and the dine card and the meals, the frozen meals. So if you're okay with that, we'll leave those as is.
As long as you're breaking even.
We are,
Okay.
yep. With the increased state funds, that helps. Okay. The next one is the James Valley Community Center. The only thing I recommended changing is our last meeting, we approved changing the rental agreement. And in the rental agreement, we did make some changes, so we'll need to make those on here. The coffee maker, we had at $15. We lowered that to 10 because it's just the percolator. So we'd have to make that change because it's already in that approved agreement. And then we added the projector, our projector that, like you see up here, that projects to the screen. We added that as a rental item too because people are utilizing it. We added that for $25. Those were the only changes to the JVCC one, if you guys are okay with that.
Does it cover your operating expenses like it should for that particular service?
It's probably our best moneymaker is renting the center.
Okay.
That is by far our best moneymaker.
Okay, good.
And people do come to us because of availability, that it's a nice facility, and it is a lesser rental than other places, but it's comparable to other public facilities. Another change to the JVCC is the dances. We would like to change that to, because our dances, we're paying more for the bands, change it to $8 per person for a member and $10 per person for a non-member. And that's because we're paying the musician more.
That's fair.
And then on bingo, we made this change, and I apologize, I did this without even thinking that I needed to change the fair resolution. The bonus sheets that they play on at the end of bingo, they're not even listed on here. So it's not a change, it's an addition. It was $1 for the 3 cards. We changed it to $3 for the 3 cards, and that's what they've been paying. So it's $1 per card essentially. And the only other change is farmer's market. We no longer do the farmer's market. That is Corn Palace who does that, so we would eliminate that. Any other changes or suggestions you see on this?
I have, your sheet says bingo, $5 for 3 cards. Is that the addition, is that what you're raising it to?
Nope, it's something that's not even listed on here. They do a yellow bonus sheet at the end.
Okay.
It's something they play at the end. It's a bonus sheet. And it's a sheet with 3 cards on it.
And that's what's $5 per card.
$3.
Those that are listed are the original
The original
cards
ones.
they would come in and buy. You know, they can purchase however many cards they want to play on when they come for bingo.
And then that $3 bonus, yellow bonus sheet is something they have at the end. It's only one sheet, not the regular. It's in addition.
So yeah, if they want to do that, it would be $8 if they did the 3 cards.
Because they play multiple games on that $5 card. I learned a lot in bingo when our administrative assistant was gone. I didn't understand what they do, but now I do. Any other suggestions, questions? Then we'll move on to transit. On the transit one, we were okay with leaving the fares as is. The only thing we need to do is because we added the same day rides due to lack of taxi, we need to add the $10 per same day ride line. Otherwise, anything on fares you see you want to change? We're pretty consistent with everybody else across the state on their fares. Again, with the cost of everything, we didn't want to raise it too much for our community because we tried to make it affordable for those that can't.
So you pay more with the window, huh?
Yes. So, do you want to go back to, we can go, if you're good with fares, we'll go to advertising. We do want to make a change to the advertising, if you're okay with that. Right now, we are getting a lot of requests for the back of the bus. A lot of requests because you follow it. It's nice to see. We would like to change that to $150 for the back of the bus without the window to be the same as a side of a bus. So if you're okay with adding $150 for upping that to $150, and this will not affect our current advertisers. This would just be any new advertisers from here on out. And then we'd also like to add our minivans that we just surplused. We have it out to get new minivans. Hopefully, we'll get those. We would like to add it on to this fares resolution in case we get minivans, to have advertising on those as well. And we thought $150 per month for the whole minivan with no windows, for the whole van with no windows. Any questions on that or changes? You okay with those changes? And then interior bus advertising, we would like to add another option for our advertisers because people want to know, well, what if I want to do all your buses? I don't want to just do 6 buses. I want to do all of them. So we thought with the steps that we're doing, we'll give them a deal and do $75 per month for the entire fleet.
Instead of 60.
Yep. So it'd be, if they did because we have about 12 buses, if they did all of them, it'd be $120. So we'd be cutting them a deal and having it at $75. And then the tokens, we're breaking even on what it costs to purchase those tokens. at those levels. We didn't have any recommendations for those. Any questions, changes, suggestions? Then I'll move on to the next one, the surplus items. I listed in here, these were all things that were approved by city council to be sold. It was also on that October 2nd meeting. These were approved to be destroyed or sold via Purple Wave, and they will be going on Purple Wave here within the month. We have a snow blower that we're not using, a bus engine that was taken out, it was used for parts and it's just sitting there now. Bunch of old bus rims that don't fit in buses, lift covers that we don't use, bus AC covers that aren't used, a bunch of bus parts, air hoses, 3 air hose compressor hoses that don't fit any of our current air compressors. It's like a vacuum floor scrubber, Hoover hard floor scrubber that we don't use. Some bottle jacks that aren't used. I think they came with buses at one time. Some tire irons that we don't use. And then at the JVCC, we had the popcorn machine and stand that's not being used. We have a bunch of tires, brand new tires that were purchased for the minivans that we got rid of, so we don't have a vehicle they fit on. And then our commercial coffee machine, which is not being used because the memberships aren't using a smaller coffee pot. So that's what we are surplusing. So you'll get to see that on Purple Wave soon. Any questions?
What is Purple Wave, just the platform to sell surplus items?
Yes. It's pretty handy. It's really neat how, yeah, you type in Purple Wave and they have stuff they sell all across the country. Our buses we sold on there went really well. The last ones we sold were for $5,700 and $5,900. We had somebody from Illinois come to get some vehicles. A lady from Colorado came and got the minivan. We had 2 vehicles booked to Dickinson, North Dakota. Yeah, we get some good funds off of that.
And what was that?
Purple Wave. It's a
It's all-
online auction site.
Auction site. County's got some stuff on it right now.
Yeah, it's really handy. The city switched to that instead of doing their annual auction, and it's been wonderful. I have no complaints on that at all. It's better than bringing everything out and not getting very much money for it.
Take a video and
Yeah.
sell it through the video.
Yeah, they take pictures and a video of the vehicles. I drive the vehicle around and they take videos of the engine running, and it's awesome.
They actually come in.
They come and do that. Yeah, all we do is just tell them where it's at, show them where it's at, and they take the pictures, they post everything. That's it. It's fantastic. The hardest part is figuring out what we want to surplus. That's great. United Way funds, we were approved for funding through United Way again. I think they messed up on their letter when it says for your building in addition of indoor arena. That's not us. But our adult nutrition program got $1,000. Our Mitchell volunteer program got $3,000. And our James Valley Community Center got $7,000. It's not what we requested, never is, but it'll work. Any questions? Okay, department reports. I have in here the ridership reports for Palace Transit. As you can see, ridership is going great. And by the end of the year, September's in here as well. September is the end of our fiscal year for transit, for state funding. Our pre-COVID numbers, our highest pre-COVID numbers were in 2018, and we beat those numbers. And that was most of the 2022 time we did not have Sunday rides, and our hours were not extended yet. So in 2023, our ridership is higher than it was in 2018 with less hours of operation. So we're excited to see what fiscal year 24 does. Our employment numbers are exciting to see how many people really utilize us for even just employment. That's really been growing. Any questions? Okay. I'll let Amy talk about nutrition, meals.
In your packet, August and September nutrition results are enclosed. We are down to our projection, but we always aim our projections higher than usually what we can achieve most of the time. We are down a little bit to last year too. Had a lot of seniors pass away and move and nursing homes and whatnot, so we're trying to get new clientele. The other day, Tuesday, I think I had like eight new people call and want to sign up for our different sites, so they're getting there.
It's very random, sporadic.
Yeah, it is. Frozen meals are still going good. Colborne's and County Fair is going good. We had a little, Colborne's for about a month and a half was not serving meals due to staffing issues, so that kind of took away some of our counts from there, but they're all doing good.
Any questions about the meals? And Amy will go over the volunteer report.
Volunteer report just kind of shows where we're at for volunteers and some of the things they've been doing in the last couple months. I try to email that stuff out at least once a week or a couple times here and there. So get a variety of projects that go on. I just have another one pop up, so yeah.
And if you didn't see it, the newspaper did a really nice article in their senior health living portion about the meals, the volunteerism, and our community center about being active and aging and healthy. And it was a great article they put in the paper. Okay. And then with our community center, Kim put together this report talking about some of the activities we have going on. Shine is starting up again. We have our Wednesday wellnesses. This fall cooking classes have been huge. The person that's coming from the SCSU extension is so happy with our turnout. She's said this is one of the best turnouts she's ever had, so that's exciting to see that happening. Doing a couple fundraisers right now, the dances, the quilts. We'll do this. They're going to do a fall silent auction for a quilt, and then we'll do our annual quilt raffle. If you haven't seen that quilt, it's beautiful. I'm so excited. I want to get that one. I'll be buying my raffle tickets for that one. And they have the fall bus tour coming up.
Today.
Actually, yeah, it's today.
They're on it.
They're on, yeah. And that's a full bus. Excited about that. And we just did a senior resource fair. We're still doing bingo, manna, and blood pressure checks. And then we will be working on getting new membership forms out in our November newsletter, so that way they can start registering in December with their new membership for the following year. Any questions? Well, that's all we have. Again, sorry, we don't have a quorum. We were really excited because we really
I
thought
was really excited that we had a quorum.
we had one. We really did. But we appreciate you coming, and your input is very helpful.